Obviously not a great time to ride a bike today. This is Saturday, the 13th of January, 2024. And I'm out here in North Albany in what you might call inclement weather. it's it's either frozen rain or freezing rain or sleet, one or the other. And it's not very comfortable. It's also about 22 degrees, so it's a pretty good freeze. While it's not a good time to ride a bike, it might be a good time to contemplate Oregon's efforts to combat so-called climate change, or also what used to be known as global warming. We could use some of that right now. Warming, that is. The state, as you know, has been engaged in a program to decarbonize the economy as best it can. And the result of that is that energy prices are going up. The power companies announced a couple of weeks ago that the price of electricity was going to soar this month, in fact. In the Portland area, PGE is raising its rates about 18%. In this area, Pacific Power, the prices are going up about 11% this month. And the power companies say that's because of the increased cost of the power supply. Well, you know what's been going on. They've been de-emphasizing power production from relatively inexpensive sources like coal, and turning to other means such as wind and solar. And of course, on a day like today, solar is not going to be a whole lot of good. But in any case, this is a program that deserves a little more public attention. And it's not getting a whole lot of attention, mostly because it's very complicated. Every once in a while, the DEQ, the Department of Environmental Quality, will put out a call for public comment on some rule change, on some rule making. And you can read it, but chances are your eyes are going to glaze over. It is not easy to understand, and you have to have a lot of technical knowledge to make any sense of it. But the upshot of it is to make traditional energy sources more expensive to discourage their use. Now, on a day like this, by the way, this morning the power flickered a couple of times, and I was worried about it going out. But luckily, it stayed on. And on days like this, it's helpful to have a source of power other than power. So natural gas is the best alternative, and it really heats your house if you have that. If you have the facilities to do that, and so, but that is something that the state of Oregon is trying to discourage. Oregon has a climate action plan that among many other elements, includes the discouragement of gas appliances. Now, I don't think they'll try to go as far as to ban existing appliances, but they certainly want to discourage them in new construction. And if on a day like this, if your house is nice and warm because of natural gas, that is something that ought to concern you. But as I say, the rulemaking on these sorts of things is always very complicated, and the general public, while it has a chance to make itself heard, really it doesn't have much of a chance to make a point. So that is something to keep in mind on a day like this. By the way, the Oregon used to have a global warming commission. And it's not because of weather like this, but it has recently changed. That is, the legislature changed the name. As of this month, it is called the Oregon Climate Action Committee. no, not committee, commission, Oregon Climate Action Commission. Always reflects a certain hubris, doesn't it? That Oregon could take action to affect the climate. No, we're not going to change the climate. The climate is what it is. And the climate is determined by a whole bunch of things. And Oregon has no control, no matter if it bans gas-powered cars, as it wants to do in 2035, or if it bans methane emissions from landfills or reduces them to nothing, or if it gets rid of gas-fired appliances like stoves and heaters. None of that's going to make any real difference in the actual climate of Oregon, and certainly not the climate of the world. And so you have to wonder about, what is the benefit of all these increased costs and greater inconvenience that the state government wants to impose on Oregonians. So you have to ask these questions. Now, people are going to complain that I'm some kind of a climate denier. No, I'm just looking at the data. And I'm looking at data like today, where the temperature is 22 degrees. My hand holding this camera is freezing, and I can't ride the bike. So that's something to keep in mind. I hope things warm up again pretty soon, but it'll be another couple of days, I think. So I hope you are in a place where it's warm enough anyway to keep you from freezing. And if you can do something for the wildlife around you, maybe put some feed out, that would be helpful too. This is going on long enough. It looks like it's almost 7 minutes. That's plenty, especially out here in this temperature. So I'll see you the next time around. I'm Hoss O'Haring, and you'll probably see this. Well, you'll see it on YouTube, and you'll see it on hhtoday.com. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you the next time.